Hi there and welcome to another video. In this video, let's see how to set up Spaceship business email, also called Spacemail. Spacemail business email is free for 30 days, so you can try it for 30 days. I will add the free trial link in the description below if you want to use Spacemail. So of course you're going to need a domain. You can either use your current domain, the domain with your website, or you can use a different domain. You don't have to use a different domain. I think most people usually believe with email you have to use a different domain, but that's not usually the case. If the other domain doesn't have any email connected to it, then you can use it there. That is your current website domain. So let's just see how to set this up. To see the pricing for that, go to hosting, and then here under hosting, you're going to see email. Click there on email. You're going to see Spacemail. Click on Spacemail and you can choose your plan. If you scroll down, you can choose your plan. You get free trial of 30 days for the monthly plan, the yearly plan, and the bi-yearly plan. So whichever one you want to go with that. I'm just going to go with monthly. Choose the one that's right for you, but you can always add more users. So you can always choose the number of users that you have, the number of mailboxes that you have. That is a mail account, right? sales@domain.com, info@domain.com, reiki@domain.com. So that's what is being counted here. So here maybe you want two. If you want two, you can see that's what it's going to be per month. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to go with the business plan. And with this, you get 10 GB of storage, 50 aliases per mailbox, email and calendar, 2FA protection, AI email assistant. Try for 30 days. If you don't have a Spaceship account, of course, you're going to need to create an account. Let me click there on use another account. You can click on sign up. So if you're new to Spaceship, enter your name, email, username, and then next. So this username is the one you're going to use to log into your account. So for me, I want to log in. Try for 30 days. The next step is for you to connect a domain. And as I've said, if you currently have a domain that already has a website, you can still use that. You don't have to buy a new domain. If that domain doesn't have mail connected to it, you can still use it. And if you want to buy another domain, you can do so. You can simply click there on add a domain, and I can select one of my domains from here, or there's also an option to purchase a domain. If you want to buy a new domain, just enter the domain name that you want to purchase, and then you can purchase it. Let me enter one that I'm sure probably does not exist yet. There, so you can buy the domain if it is not already registered. All right, so I'm just going to select this domain. I want to use that as my sample in this video. So say that is connected, we can continue. So if you need all these other hosting products, you can also connect them. Just click on the plus to connect. Maybe you want to host WordPress as well on the domain you've just purchased. You can click there on plus to connect it to the domain. For me, that's all I need. Spacemail trial will be connected to that. And then I can continue. Unbox. Products are ready. You can go to your account to configure the product. I can click there to configure the product. So I'll click there on configure, and you can add a mail account, right? For now, let's just skip this step for now. That is for creating the mailbox. Most importantly, you need to ensure that your DNS is working. If you buy your domain from Spaceship, then this will not be a big issue for you, because by default it will just use Spaceship as your DNS provider. In my case, I'm using Cloudflare. With Cloudflare, I will need to edit the DNS records there. Product needs DNS configuration. I'll just click there on View Guides. There are two options here. The first option, you can switch to Spaceship name servers. I definitely don't want to do that, and you should not do that, because you might lose some records. If your domain is already being used on a website and you switch it to Spaceship, you'll be offline. You might be offline for a moment until you add those records. So what you may want to do is connect with DNS records. So connecting with DNS records simply requires you to add the given DNS records. So that's the option I'm going to click. For me, I'm going to click on connect with DNS records. And then I'm going to look at what options I have for DNS records. So you can see I have all these records that I need to add to my current DNS provider. And my current DNS provider is Cloudflare. Whichever provider you're using, there's a place where you can change your DNS records. Go there and change those DNS records. Probably you're also using Cloudflare. So now that I have all these DNS records, I can take them to my Cloudflare and edit the DNS over there. So wherever you have your domain, go there and edit the DNS like I'll be doing. I'll just copy that, and the preference is 0. Preference is just priority. So let's go and add the first MX record. MX records are responsible for delivering mail. So I'll come back here, and if you're using Cloudflare, go to your domain and then make sure you click on the domain. Under DNS, click on records, and then you can change your records here. And I can see I have some MX records here. So let me just delete this. I'm not using them for anything, so don't delete any records unless you're sure you're not using them. Delete the 3 records. Enter. And now I can add my new MX records. So I'll just click there, add record, choose MX. For the name, I'll go with @ that represents the domain name itself. And then the mail server is the MX record I got from the other side. Priority over here is called preference. So I'll just go with 0. And then the time to leave, I can leave it at auto. And then I will save. The second MX record, I'll copy that, add record, add an MX record, use @ add the domain name there. Priority is 0. Priority for this is also 0. Okay, 0, and then save. Come back. I will add the auto discover record. Copy. I'll come back here. There we go. Just add it, even though it's not mandatory, just add it. It's auto discover. So protocol TCP, priority 0, weight 0, port 443, value. Let me copy the value. This is the one that's most important. Come back. Priority was 0. Weight was also 0. Port 443. And the target is what I've just copied. and then save. Which is the next record? After srv, we have txt for SPF. So I'm just going to copy that, come back here. I will add a txt record, and it's for the main domain. So I'll just use @ every time. Instead of typing the domain, just type @ is the same as typing that. So even if I type this instead of @ it's like doing the same thing. And then I will save, come back here, and the last record, the last one here is a DKIM. It's a DKIM record. So I'm going to copy the DKIM host name, the DKIM name, I mean, and then this one will be a txt record. Paste in that there, come back and get the key. The key is the value. So I'm going to add that as content, save. So that's all I need to do to set up Spacemail with my DNS records on Cloudflare. So I'm going to verify DNS changes. This might take a while depending on the DNS provider you're using, but Cloudflare is usually very fast. You can see there, all records have been found. That is Cloudflare, usually very fast. They have multiple servers globally. So that's one of the advantages of using Cloudflare. And just like that, I can click on done and we can start sending mail. So here I can click I'm done. Right, so I'm done setting up the mailbox. And if you want to get back to mail after you log in, there's usually this up here. This can help you get anywhere. You can see it has all the different items that you can manage. Spacemail Manager is there. VPSs are there. I'll do a tutorial for Starlight VPS if you want to work with Spaceship VPS. So let me go to Spacemail Manager. And currently I have no mailboxes. I can create a mailbox. Create mailboxes. Ricky. Password. Okay, so the password needs one uppercase, one special character, and then I will create the mailbox. So that's been created. You can create another one if you want to create multiple. I can get out of that. If you want to log into your mail, say you just logged into Spaceship, as I've said, just go into Launchpad, come down to Spacemail Manager. Spacemail Manager, that will get you here. And then once you're here, you just click on login and you can log in with the details you've just set up. Let me come back here and I can just copy that. Copy. And I will use that to log in here. Enter the password for your email. Log in. So there's your welcome email to Spacemail. Spacemail. There you go. You can read that. And you can compose an email. So let me write to Bizanosa at gmail.com. some reason, it's not going to my other server, but let's just give it a moment. Let's look at original message. Let's see what you're getting. So SPF has passed, DKIM has passed, DMARC is failing. So this could be the issue. There are certain servers which are strict, so this could be the issue. DMARC is failing. Let's come back here. There's no DMARC record. We were not given any DMARC record, were we? No. So let's manage this. Okay, there we go. SPF, DMARC, DKIM. Let's see. Let's look at DMARC. So DMARC enhances email security. So generate a DMARC record using this tool. Let's see where this is going to take us. Domain. I will use that. Check DMARC record. Okay, so let's just create the DMARC record. How do you want mail that fails to be treated? We'll just leave that at none. What email address should aggregate? You can add an email there, your email, but I'll just leave it with Cloudflare. What email address would you like to receive? DMARC failure reports. So here as well, you can add your own email address. So let me just copy this. And usually for most of these TXT records, if you have two records that are doing the same thing, they're probably going to interfere with each other. So you should find any duplicates and delete them. Since I know all these DMARC records are not that important as of now, I can just delete them all. That's a DMARC. You see DMARC, DMARC, DMARC. All of these are DMARC records. So I can just delete all of them. Once I delete them, I can come back. Let me just recreate it. So that is the host name. So I'm going to copy that from there. Copy. Come back to Cloudflare. I'm going to add that. Usually if you have multiple TXT records, DMARC, SPF, DKIM, they will conflict with each other. So you only need to have one. That's why I'm deleting all of them and just adding this one as the final one. So I'm going to copy the value from there. Just note that these details you can create from here. You can change the email address there. You can change this here. This value, you can even change it to quarantine. Add to Cloudflare. Paste. Save. So let me check. Okay, so that's the current one. Let's go to Space Mail. I can compose a new email. And just like that, you can see now everything passes. SPF, DKIM, and DMARC passes. So let me reply back. There you go. The reply is there. When you send emails, it will It will not be marked as spam, and all this will pass validation. So if you want to remove that footer that is there, in your Spacemail settings, go to the gear icon up there. You can find the signature settings there. You can manage your signatures. You can change your signatures to whatever you like. Add a logo, whatever. You can add your phone number, email, company name, even logo with that image, and so on. Other settings you can change here that may be important. Leave signature. Name, display name. You can change your display name, the name that shows up when people receive your email. You may want something professional, so go with something that is related to your business, your brand, or what you do, and then accept it. All these other settings, feel free to look at them. Auto reply, forwarding, AI settings, feel free to look at all this. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, you can just let me know. Until next time, if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need help setting up the DNS, feel free to reach out. If you need to move to a VPS as an agency, freelancer, hosting your clients' websites, feel free to talk to us. We can manage your server for you at bizanosa.com. That's it. Until next time.